Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Motive Racing channel. We are back here tonight for the Purple Sector Formula 1 League, which runs on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. And we come into the second half of the season here tonight. Marks the just past the halfway point. Obviously, the last round was around 12 or 24. So this is now, we're well into the season. We're now into the thick end of it. And currently here tonight at the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Probably could have guessed that, couldn't you? But yeah, we're here at a circuit which is actually quite key for qualifying. Typically, over the years in its time in Formula 1, the Hungaroring has been quite notorious, difficult to overtake with F1 cars. Depends on what series you're running. With GT cars, it's relatively wide open, but F1 cars are another story. The short straights and twisty sections make it not really the hotspot for lots of overtaking. But we have had some great races down the years. We have had one or two unexpected thrillers. So who knows what to expect here tonight. But currently we've got Big Racky setting the pace here in this all-important qualifying session tonight. And he looks to be on song so far. We're over halfway through the session and he's got a 4/10 gap over V10 Ultra. So Big Racky really setting the timing board alight so far here tonight. We've got V10 Ultra second. You've got Rupsicoda third. He's currently 6/10 off of the whole time being set by Big Racky. You've got Matty Pitt 7/10 off of the fastest time in fourth place ahead of Big Ruck. Sorry, not Big Ruck. Ruck. Well, he could be big, he could be small, I don't know, Ruck. Not too familiar, I must admit, but yeah, he's currently P5 on a 15.6, 1.2 seconds off for the pace. He got Justify in P6, 1.3 seconds off, and on a 15.7, followed by Brinky in 7th place, 1.5 down on a 115.9. Freddie sits in 8th place, 116.0 from him at the moment, currently 1.6 seconds off for the fastest time. Let's jump on board with Freddie though, because he's currently on a big improvement as things stand. As if he carries on the way he's going right now, then he'll be P5 ahead of Ruck. So let's see if he can keep it together through this final sector, or maybe even nail it and gain a few more places here. He's got his current trajectory will put him P5, but can he maybe get close to Matty Pitt? Here he comes up towards the line, comes Freddie. What's it going to be for him? It's P6 actually. He lost a little bit of time there in that final sector, but nonetheless very close to Ruck. Only 200ths of a second between those two in P5 and 6. Brinky is currently just starting a lap at the moment, so in 8th place at this particular moment in time as he slides it through on the exit of turn 2, and through 3 we go. Let's jump on board with Brinky here, see what he's doing in the first sector. Only Freddie, Justify and Brinky out on track, and Justify is in the pits now, so it's now only this man here out on track, although Rexy Boy and Trucky are on out laps, but Brinky was just under 0.2 of a second up through the first sector there, so currently doing a good job at the moment. Now let's stay on board here as we come through the middle sector. Looks to be a pretty tidy middle sector so far, as he's just riding the curbs very sensibly there, not taking too many liberties. Oh, look at that, lovely and stable there. Lost actually a 10th through the middle sector there, so must have had a good middle sector the first time around. Either that or it's just a very tidy but not particularly spectacular lap from Brinky. It does look pretty tidy, but Brinky, as I say that was not the way you wanted to take the second to last corner there, and he comes into the pit, so that's that. So it's not going to be an improvement there for Brinky. Freddie's going to be coming in surely. Yep, that's an in lap there for Freddie. So that's now pretty much everyone in the pits. Trucky's actually on a flying lap as we speak. 2/10 up for the first sector. MN99 just starting up as well. T and Rexy Boy have just come out of the pits and now on out laps. And everybody else is in the pits at the moment. But Trucky here just coming through the middle sector, through the chicane. And let's stay on board with our driver in the Kicksalver. Keep an eye on the top right hand corner and see what those sector times are saying right now. So he goes onto the curb there. He's nearly half a second up for his Trucky, so this is a substantial improvement. If he can continue this sort of momentum here, he should be able to get himself into the top 10 quite comfortably. But let's see. Through the final sector, into the final corner we come now with Trucky. And you can see the top right hand corner. That's his time so far up towards the line. It's going to be a big improvement, I know that. P set P11, not quite P10, misses out on T's time there by 0.03 of a second. MN99 is on a lap as well, just coming towards the end of the first sector. Be right on board, going up the hill. Rexy Boy's also on a lap as well, although MN99 actually is 2 seconds off, so it's an in lap there for him. Did go P8 though on that last lap, so that's not too bad. Rexy Boy is currently down on his personal best through the middle sector, 0.4 of a second off of his fastest time as things stand, so that's not going too well for him at the moment. as the provisional pole sitter Big Racky is back out on the circuit once again. 1 minute 14.4 is the time to be as things stand, but I'm sure V10 Ultra will be looking to try and displace him at the top of that leaderboard. But I've been saying this every single time we've been on in the recent past, but Big Racky here is really looking to get some wins on the board here. He's been challenging V10 Ultra. He's been going toe-to-toe with him for so many rounds so far this season, and I've said before that he seems to be very, very good at getting the tyres up to temperature. He also seems to be quite good on green tracks as well, because I've noticed at the start of the qualifying sessions he always comes out of the blocks really well. He usually does the fastest time at the start of the session compared to V10 Ultra, but then their second runs, V10 Ultra then usually usurps him. So I noticed a bit of a pattern here. Big Racky seems to do well when the track isn't rubbered in, aka green track is what the term is in racing. But yeah, basically Big Racky, if he can put it together once the track's rubbered in, he could be a real contender for pole and obviously the wins as well. But he's just starting a flying lap at the moment. Also, Matty Pitt's out there on a lap, or on an out lap, should I say. So's Freddie as well, out the pits onto the track. And he's already bailed out of this current flying lap that he's on here. You can see Matty Pitt in the background there. And you can also see Big Racky making his way through on his flying lap here. But has he bailed out of it already? I don't know. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's definitely got out of it there. 2 seconds down is Big Racky for the first sector, so that's not going to be an improvement on his provisional pole time. V10 Ultra still in the pits. He's going to leave it until the absolute last second to try to maximise the track conditions out there. So let's keep an eye on him, see if he gets himself out there before the session comes to a close. Matty Pitt and Rock on out laps. Freddie's... oh, look at Freddie. Oh, no. That was his previous lap. So he was 4/10 up on the previous lap, but that was obviously an hour lap, so Freddie's bailed out as well. It seems like all the drivers are starting flying laps and then they're immediately bailing out of their laps, so I don't know what's going on here. This is a bit weird. Big Racky's coming around. Is he going to do another lap? Because he has wasted a set of tyres a little bit, although saying that, he has coasted around this particular lap, so I wouldn't have thought he'd have taken too much out of them, but nonetheless, over the line he comes to start another lap here. So your current provisional pole sitter here, coming into turn one once again. V10 Ultra is out on the track, so he will be doing a flying lap before we get to the end, so he is going to be just trying to maximise the track conditions here, which is very sensible really. Big Racky here into turn two. Max taking a lot of speed there, didn't quite hook it up to the inside as much as he'd like to. Oh, was that an invalid lap time there? He cut the grass there on the inside of turn three. Let's hope he didn't get an invalid lap time. He has lost time though. He's 2/10 down on his personal best through the first sector, so this might not be an improvement here for Big Racky, as he perhaps peaked early on in this qualifying session here. Through the 6 and 7 chicane we go, and Big Racky currently has got work to do in the rest of this lap. Bit wide there, didn't really get the car turned in at the right moment at all, and he's taking plenty of speed through the corners, but it doesn't seem like a perfect lap by any means, and it certainly isn't, because he's half a second down through the middle sector here. So Big Racky's not going to improve, and it's going to be all down to V10 Ultra to see if he can get pole on this current lap that he's on. Ropsy Cola is on an out lap, so he'll be doing a flying lap in due course. Currently in third place in this session. V10 Ultra just coming on the exit of turn 3 at the moment. And up the hill we go into the first sector checkpoint. And look at that. He's a 10th.5 up to the first sector. So V10 Ultra is bringing the smoke here to Big Racky. He wants to get pole position in the closing stages of this qualifying session here. But has he got it within him to gain 0.4 of a second on this final run? This is pressure personified here for V10 Ultra, the championship leader. As here he comes through the middle sector there. Didn't quite hook up the apexes the way he'd like to there, but still on a good lap. And he smashed it through the first sector, so can he continue that momentum? He has managed to continue that momentum. He is nearly 3/10 up, but he still needs to find a 10th.5 in this final sector here if he wants to put it on pole position. Here comes V10 Ultra. Oh, beautifully turned in, going through the penultimate corner there. Managed to just get the car stowed down enough to hook it up to the inside of the apex, and then kept the speed on the exit of the corner as well. Beautifully done there. V10 Ultra over the line. Is it enough? No, it's not. He misses out by 0.04 of a second. How close is that? What a fantastic qualifying session this is. As we see Ropsy Cola there, 10th up through the first sector. What about Freddie? Let's keep an eye on Freddie. Is he on a flying up? No, he's backed out of it. But Freddie's done a great lap there. P4, 7/10 off of the pole time. Second row as things stand for him. Obviously that's provisional because there are other drivers out there still. But let's keep an eye on Roxy Cola because he could be able to find some time here. Also, let's keep an eye on V10 Ultra because did he... no, he didn't start another lap. So he clearly hasn't got the tyres to do so. MN99 has gone P3 there. What a lap there from MN99 right at the end of the session. Pushes Freddie out of the second row there. So lovely out there from MN99. We've got Roxy Cola coming to the final few corners. Can he go P2 here? Can he even put it on pole? Only 3 tenths to find. Sorry, 6 tenths to find. Ugh, looking at the wrong driver. I do apologise. Roxy Cola over the line. Finds a little bit of time, but nowhere near enough. And P4 for Roxy Cola there. So I think that's going to be that. I don't think there's anyone else on a flying lap. Rock's down on his middle sector, so he's coming into the pits. Truckie's currently a 10th down in the first sector. Let's keep an eye on the middle sector. No, not going to be an improvement either for him. So that's the session done, I think. I don't think anybody can improve now. So that is that. It's going to be Big Racky. He'll be starting this one on pole with a marginal pole position there. And what an effort from Big Racky. Fantastic job there to put it ahead of V10 Ultra, the driver who so often at the end of qualifying sessions breaks Big Racky's heart. This time around, V10 didn't have it in his locker, maximised his potential around his Hungaroring at the end of the session with a track that was rubbing in and in optimal conditions. And Big Racky's lap time early in the session on a green track was enough for pole position. So despite not finding the time at the end of the session, he'd already done enough, and 4 hundredths of a second is the gap in the end that Big Racky takes pole by ahead of V10 Ultra, with MN99 third ahead of Roxy Cola, followed by Freddie in fifth with Matty Pitt P6. Brinky line up 7th place ahead of Rock in 8th with Justify in P9. T in 10th with Truckee in 11th, and Rexy Boy will round out the grid in P12 here tonight.
So the formation lap is underway here in Hungary. The front runners will want to get themselves prepared for the race ahead, as they can expect to be attacked through the first 2 corners when the lights go out. And they'll need to survive those in order to kickstart what they hope is a promising race.
Inspired words from Crofty there as we're about to get underway here for the Hungarian Grand Prix here at the Purple Sector Formula 1 League. Round 13 of 24 here for Season X. And we're just lining up on the grid here. We're moments away from the start. And it's going to be an exciting race here tonight with Big Racky managing to put it on pole ahead of V10 Ultra. But is V10 Ultra going to do what he does so often throughout the courses of the Grand Prix? And is he going to be able to have the consistency and ultimately be too much for Big Racky? Or is Big Racky going to step up to the plate here tonight on a track that is notoriously difficult to overtake? Could be a question of who's first into turn 1, but we all know that the F124 game generally provides a lot more action than just what you see in real life. But nonetheless, here we are ahead of the grid, about to get racing here in Budapest. It's lights out and away we go as MN99 has got a jump start there, absolutely breezes past the leaders as we now come down towards turn 1. He's splitting them down the middle there as we got Big Racky on the outside there. V10 Ultra's got the inside line and it's going to make the move ahead of Big Racky as Big Racky very wide there. MN99 gets ahead of both of them, but Big Racky losing out to his teammate Roxy Cola, who's round the outside up into 3rd place, and he can't get back down the inside as we see a big lock up there from Big Racky as well, feeling the pressure a little bit. But it's MN99 with his drive-through penalty having jumped the start, who leads leads the race ahead of Beaten Ultra with Ropsy Cola, Big Racky in fourth ahead of Freddy. There's Brinky ahead of Rock, followed by Justify with Matty Pitt. T moving ahead of Rexy Boy up into P10, and Trucky there at the back of the field in 12th place as Rexy Boy gets around the outside of T there, going through turn 5, and Beaten Ultra trying to change on the back of MN99. As always, MN99 gets it all wrong there, and Beaten Ultra got nowhere to go. Ropsy Cola's going to squeeze through and moves ahead of Beaten Ultra, so he's doing a favour there for his teammate, and Big Racky there is going to try and get involved in this action now as well. Beaten Ultra down the inside of Ropsy Cola. He's going to be a bit annoyed about that. He's going to have a red mist descending there right now after that one. But Beaten Ultra there down the inside, bit of contact there again between them, and Ropsy Cola's still there. You're watching on board with the other Hasker driver of Big Racky. And Ropsy Cola does manage to complete the move once again. Beaten Ultra's now got the inside for the final corner, but Ropsy Cola will get the better exit being on the outside. Surely you'd think he'd have better momentum going down the start-finish straight, and they are still side by side here. What a battle this is on the first lap between these two. It's been a bit cagey. It has been a little bit. There's been a little bit of elbows out. Oh, he's down the inside there, Ropsy Cola. He's still not giving up in this one. This is a great fight here between these two, and Beaten Ultra does finally get that move done there. Big Racky there waiting in the wings behind these, but with those two battling, it's allowed MN99 to pull over a second here of a gap out the front. But crucially, he has got his penalty, which he'll have to serve at some point, surely in the first 3 laps. I think that's the rule. But nonetheless, a great battle there between Beaten Ultra and Ropsy Cola on the first lap. And you see the rest of the pack there going through turn 4. But there's MN99 out the front, Beaten Ultra, Ropsy Cola, Big Racky there, Freddy keeping tabs with them at the moment. But yeah, fantastic battling there between Beaten Ultra and Ropsy Cola. It was mostly fair. There was a little bit of argy-bargy. There was some contact, but no harm, no foul, I think is the saying. And in a lot of cases, that really does carry a lot of weight. That philosophy or that way of thinking, because ultimately it did look like there could have been a bit of it could have spilled over, but at the end of the day it didn't, and that's the most important thing. And the two gave each other in just about enough respect, I think, to follow the rules of racing. But nonetheless, Beaten Ultra can now try and focus on the race leader MN99 as they come down the start finish straight with DRS open as well. But they've all got DRS on each other here. Big Racky getting closer to the back of his teammate. Is there going to be team orders at Haas? Are they going to be doing the old well, I guess probably not, to be honest, actually, because Big Racky technically isn't in the championship. Although he's Beaten Ultra's closest challenger in terms of pace, he's not really in the championship battle, actually, saying that. So probably there isn't going to be. I kind of answered my own question there, but I just kind of had to reason with myself for a second there, as Matty Pitt keeps ahead of Brinky there in P6. But yeah, currently it's MN99 still leading the race ahead of Beaten Ultra, who's getting a little bit closer there, coming towards the chicane. Still a little bit too far away at the moment. Oh, as that was somebody getting sideways there through the chicane, but keeping it together. Oh, that was close there. Rock is all over the back of Rexy Boy in this fight for 8th place as well. And Trucky's got T and Justify hassling the back of him for P10 at this particular moment in time as well. But Beaten Ultra looking a very racy on the back of MN99. Is he going to be able to make this move? No, MN99's coming into the pits to do that drive-through, so important there for V10. Now he's in clean air, and crucially, he's got a 1 second gap over the Hasses, so that's going to really give him a bit of a boost here. It's going to give him that little bit of confidence. Now, let's get the tyre graphic up so we know who's on what tyre. Yeah, no real variance there. Everyone's on the medium tyres, so there's no split strategy. It's literally, at the moment, this is a race for position. It is a race as you see it right now. As Big Racky there, second. It makes a move for second place there up the inside of his teammate. Did Ropsy Cola make that easy for him? I'm not quite sure. Looked like he didn't wave him past. I think that was certainly a genuine move there. And Freddy there now trying to attack on the back of Ropsy Cola in his battle for 3rd place. For the podium places right now, Freddy driving a cracker here in the opening stint of the race as we come into the chicane once again. And he'll be looking to challenge these Hasses for a spot on that Champagne rostrum come the end of this race. But Beaten Ultra at the moment looking to try and seize the initiative. He's pulling out a gap here. 2 seconds he's got over the 2 Hasses as things stand here in this race. But can Freddy get himself involved in this fight and make it a three-way fight for the podium places here, as Big Racky isn't really asserting his authority on these guys. I thought maybe he'd get ahead of Ropsy Cola and then disappear off up the road, but it hasn't really happened at all so far. He's kind of just Yeah, he's just stayed in the same position, to be honest with you. Nothing's really changed. So Ropsikoda's still putting him under pressure, and he's also got DRS now on his teammate, which is going to bring him that little bit closer, but he's getting out of it there. You could hear he's lifting off, going down the straight. He doesn't want to get too close. He doesn't want to put him under too much pressure or force him into a mistake. He kind of just wants to close up onto the back of Beaten Ultra. And if these two can work together, they can bring themselves into this race. So that's a very wise decision there from Ropsikoda, just playing the team game, just stepping off the throttle a little bit and letting his teammate get on with it. Very sensible driving there. And Freddie's still waiting in the wings behind these. But obviously, it's also a smart move by these two to run together, because with Freddie behind them, as long as they run in the DRS together, it's going to make it impossible for Freddie to get ahead. So for the team game as well, for the constructors, I suppose it makes sense for both of them being on the podium to try and use each other as leverage here to keep Freddie at bay. And that's exactly what they're doing at this moment in time. So let's see how that continues on. But it does appear like Big Racky's just stepped on it a little bit for this middle sector. Oh, as Ropsikoda makes a mistake there, and Freddie senses his opportunity here, looks down the inside, he goes late on the brakes there. Ropsikoda just about keeping it around the outside there. There's a car's width on the inside, which Freddie put his car into, but then didn't have the space to really get enough momentum out of the corner. He's still right there with him though as they come into the final corner. Now he'll have DRS, and crucially Ropsikoda is out of the DRS here of his teammate Big Racky. So now Freddie's going to get a free punch here on the back of Ropsikoda with DRS enabled. Here we go. This is going to be an easy move here for Freddie. Down the inside he goes up into third place, and that's job done there for him, as we see Matty Pitt and Brinky here waiting in the background trying to close in on this battle. And now they can try and come back at him. I was saying that Ropsikoda's got back ahead of Freddie. There's a DRS coming out of turn 1 into turn 2. He's got around the outside. Freddie's still keeping himself there, but Ropsikoda does complete that move and back up into third place he goes. So look like Freddie had it done. Not quite just yet, son. But Matty Pitt there is going to get closing up onto the back of him as well. As Justify's got ahead of Truckee up into P10. Oh, his Truckee's in the wall there. Coming through turn 2, he's just out to MN99. Justify's also gone off. So have these two come together here? They're running in 11th and 12th places at the moment, but they're both struggling here at this stage in the race, and I'm not quite sure what happened there. We kind of just saw Truckee losing a place on the screen, and then suddenly Truckee was in the wall and Justify appeared in the wall as well. That's all I really know about the situation, guys. But yeah, pretty much both of those two in the wars at this stage in the race. Big Racky still running in second place ahead of Ropsikoda. 2 seconds gap between those two now, and Freddie is still pushing on the back of Ropsikoda. This is the part of the track where he made the move on the previous lap with DRS. Now is he going to do the same thing this time around as well? As we come out of the final corner once again here, Freddie will look to try and use that DRS to get himself out a little bit closer. Is he going to have a chance to make the move once again like we saw in the previous lap? Here we go. This time he's going to look to the inside again. But is he going to complete it this time? Because last time Ropsikoda was able to get him on the exit. Oh no, Ropsikoda there taps him in the rear. Freddie was trying to park his car on the inside to stop Ropsikoda from coming back at him. And what happened is Freddie's apex speed was just a bit too low. I think Ropsikoda went to the back of him there. I'd say that's probably on Ropsikoda, to be honest, because surely he should have expected that with the angle that Freddie was turning in. I guess he was trying to go for the cutback, but Ropsikoda there in the end losing out to Matty Pitt. Matty Pitt mugging both of them there up into third place. Ropsikoda, Freddie still right there with them. Brinky now right in this battle as well. So this is now a four-way battle here for third place, and Big Racky pulling away from these. Gap between V10 Ultra and Big Racky is staying the same at the moment, around 2 seconds. So the two top contenders in qualifying, only a tenth or only 400ths even separated them in qualifying it in the favour of Big Racky. Since then, obviously V10 Ultra's gone ahead of him in the early stages and has pulled away, but the gap now staying stable at 2 seconds. Saying that, though, Big Racky has got a penalty. He's got a 3-second time penalty for track limits, I would assume. So that's good. That could come back to bite him could come back to bite him later on. We'll have to see. In the meantime, Ropsikola's got the DRS on Matty Pitt. Freddie's also got the DRS on Ropsikola, but the thing is, with Ropsikola having the DRS as well, it's going to make it very difficult for him to get close. And Ropsikola not close enough to make a move on Matty Pitt at the moment, but DRS again down towards turn 2, still not going to be any assistance there for him, as T's moved out of Rexy Boy up into P8. So nicely done there from T and the DRS down the start finish straight. As Matty Pitt becomes the next driver to get a 3-second time penalty as well. Ruck and Truckee have also got penalties, so that's 4 drivers now going in the referee's notebook here tonight so far. That's the gap between V10 Ultra and Big Racky, 2.5 seconds. V10 Ultra is starting to extend that gap a little bit at this point. Still the 4 drivers battling over third. Nip and Tuck at this point. They're 2.5 seconds clear of Ruck, who's got 4 seconds back to this battle between T and Rexy Boy. And then you've got nearly 3 seconds back to MN99, who had that drive-through on lap 3, led the first couple of laps out after that jump start. Truckee running in 11th place, and a couple of seconds back to Justify, running in P12. But V10 Ultra is out the front and is continuing to boss things here, and he's really gapped Big Racky on over the course of this lap. Wouldn't be surprised if it's the fastest lap of the race so far. It isn't apparently, but I wouldn't have been surprised if it was, but it isn't. And yeah, just under 3 seconds is gapped to Big Racky at this point. There's Matty Pitt there, P3 ahead of Rupsy Cola. There's Freddie in the background ahead of Brinky. And Rock not really in that battle at all at this point, but this is a great battle here for third place. Matty Pitt currently heads this train. Obviously Rupsy Cola and Freddie ran into each other a couple of laps ago. It was nothing too major, they didn't get damaged, but they certainly it was a bit of handbags between the two of them, and it allowed Matty Pitt to mug both of them up into third place. He's currently reaping the benefits of that as things stand. Brinky is still right behind these three, but isn't really looking like he's too much of a threat to them at this moment. But currently Matty Pitt still keeping these guys at bay. Lap 9 of 35 here at the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix here at Purple Sector for Season X. Round 13 of this 24-round season. Running Tuesdays and Thursday nights, as they always have, Purple Sector. Maybe if you're watching this back afterwards, the link to the Discord will be in the description. You can obviously speak to Matty Pitt afterwards and ask if he needs any advertisement, because I'm sure that if he is, then he'd love the advertisement to be on the stream. But yeah, if you're watching this back afterwards, it's not there at the moment, I know that for sure, but if you're watching this back after the fact, there may be a link in the description to the Discord. MN99 has got ahead of Rexy Boy now up into P9, so that's another position there for MN99. Justify now pulling up onto the back of Justify pulling up onto the back of Truckee, not Justify. As Truckee gets it all wrong there coming out of turn 1, and Justify's going to seize on that without any hesitation there. Up into P11 he goes, and goes a little bit wide there, but gets it turned in nonetheless, and Justify P11, job done there for him. As V10 is gapped to Big Racky 4 seconds at this moment in time. And then he's got a couple of seconds back to Matty Pitt there, who's just got Rupsy Cola putting the pressure on him. Freddie, Brinky, there's Rocky in the background. Lots going on at this moment. As a Big Racky into the pits at the end of lap 10, so he's the first to blink here on the medium tyres. Is he putting the hard tyres on going to the end, or is he going to do a two-stop, put the softs on? Let's have a look. Seems like quite an early time to put the hards on, so I wonder if he is two-stopping. He could be just trying something different here. Why not? Not much to lose. Yep, fresh mediums going on for Big Racky, so he is two-stopping. And I would have thought probably... I don't know if he can put the softs on at the end. That might be a bit of a push. Can't imagine he'd be putting the softs on. He's planning to extend this middle stint a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, that to me seems like a very early start time to come in, even if you're two-stopping. He'd have to put the hards on to make that work, I would have thought. But anyway, V10 Ultra still leading, and Matty Pitt coming under increasing pressure now from Rupsy Cola. Freddie is behind Rupsy Cola now, so Freddie's lost out a position here. Let's jump on board with Rupsy Cola here as we're coming into the final sector here on lap 11 of this race. Rupsy Cola still a little bit too far away to make a move on Matty Pitt as things stand, but he is still putting the pressure on. The King CR7 says, what's popping? Nothing much. We've got a good race going on here, CR7. If you fancy getting involved, then there might be a link to the Discord coming up at the end of this race, so keep an eye out if you're interested. I don't know whether Matty Pitt's looking for drivers, but obviously it has to be clean drivers, and you will, I think, be put through an evaluation before confirming whether or not you're able to join. But or are you already in the league? Actually, you might already be in the league. I don't know who you are, to be fair. But anyway, yeah, welcome along. We're seeing Matt Robscola right now still putting the pressure on Matty Pitt here for second place. Freddie's just dropped off at the back of these a little bit over the course of this lap, as Brinky appears to have disconnected, so hopefully Brinky gets himself back in as quickly as possible. But Robscola here, definitely within range here of Matty Pitt, definitely within overtaking range, certainly within the DRS. And if he can keep himself close coming out through the final corner here, this could be a very strong chance of making a move for P2. Let's see, didn't get an ideal exit out of the final corner, but might be just about close enough here with the DRS. No, not quite. Not quite close enough. Matty Pitt with very good straight line speed there is keeping him in good stead. I think he's obviously gone for a lower downforce setup, which is a bit of a risk around a circuit like this because it's such a twisty circuit, but it's currently working for Matty Pitt. It's keeping his second place at the moment. So I think he's banked on maybe drivers getting it wrong in front of him and being able to park his car. He knows that this is a difficult track to overtake, so I think by putting an extra couple of points of, or rather a couple of less points of downforce, he's helping his straight line speed out and definitely giving himself that better opportunity to hold drivers up and hold his position. But he's currently running 8.5 seconds off of the lead. These guys are losing time to V10 Ultra all the time. That includes Robscola, who I would have thought would have been in the battle earlier on, but he's currently can't do anything because he's stuck behind Matty Pitt. Big Raki is behind MN99. Both of these two have been in the pits, but MN99 was for a drive-through, and Big Raki was obviously for a scheduled pit stop, which he made a couple of laps ago. And Ricky Raki will be getting a little bit frustrated with this because he needs to clear MN99 as soon as possible. MN99's got pace, we know that, because he qualified in third place, but obviously jumped the start and ended up coming in for a drive-through. Both of these two out of position at the moment, but Big Raki will be getting a bit frustrated here behind MN99 as he comes into the final corner. MN99 now coming in for his pit stop, so he's now pulled the trigger there and coming off those medium tyres. Big Raki, though, put those medium tyres on at the end of lap 10. We still reckon he might have to come in later on. Well, he will definitely have to come in later on. The question is, what tyres is he going to put on? Because the hard tyres, well, he can push them a lot, but it'd be a bit of a waste of doing a two-stop if you're going to do medium hard. I would have thought the only reason why you'd do a two-stop would be to do medium soft. But he certainly has to pit a game, we know that, because you can't do 25 laps on a set of medium tyres. CR7 says, are you a pro commentator? No. Nope, just an amateur, but I have been doing it for a long time, though. I've probably, if I had to guess how many races I commentated on, actual league races, probably over 1,000. If I had to put a number, I couldn't put a number on it, but I've done it so many times now, it's second nature. Would love the opportunity to commentate pro, actually, but I don't know whether I'd be up to it. But anyway, V10 Ultra currently still leading the race by just under 10 seconds at the moment ahead of Matty Pitt. Matty Pitt has got a penalty, so has Big Raki, Ruck, Justified T and Truckee, but penalties could be coming back to bite them at the end of the race. Freddie also coming into the pits here at the end of lap 14. So Matty Pitt and Freddie both in to change on to what I would assume are going to be the hard tyres. I would have thought both of them are going to be one stopping. Matty Pitt onto the hards, one stop strategy there for him, and Freddie doing likewise. So yeah, no surprises there. Ruck is also on the hards. He's one stopping. T, MN99, Rexy Boy, and Truckee all on the hard tyres as well. So the only driver who I think is two stopping so far is Big Raki, but there's still another 4 drivers to come in and make their mandatories. So let's keep our eye on that. Obviously lots to be uncovered here as Brinky's now back in a session, so his AI will now be out of the car and he'll be back in it, which is good. So Matty Pitt's come out right behind Rock here, despite obviously staying out another couple of laps. So Rock's managed to get the undercut. Obviously on those fresh hard tyres, 2 laps on fresh tyres really does make a big difference. But Matty Pitt will get the benefit later on with the fresher rubber, saying that 2 lap fresher hards, it's not going to make a massive difference, I have to say. But let's see if Matty Pitt can bring the fight to Rock here. We got Ropsy-Cola and Brinky in the pits here at the end of lap 15. And the race leader Vitan Ultra continuing on his way with Big Racky 12 seconds behind in second place, having pitted. So those fresh medium tyres really are reaping the benefits right now, because he's within 12 seconds of Vitan Ultra. But the thing is, he'll need to pit again later in the race, and he'll also have to use either the soft or the mediums. So he really needs to push right now. He's got 10 lap pressure rubber, and he needs to just keep pushing and maximise his position within this pit window. So Matty Pitt's on the back of Rocky in the battle for third place. You can see Freddie keeping tabs with these as well. This is the real battle here for third place. Matty Pitt's got a 3-second time penalty there for track limits again. So the penalties are racking up thick and fast here. So everyone on a one-stop medium hard strategy except Big Racky, who we believe is on a 2-stop. Vitan Ultra still yet to pit. I would have thought he'd be doing the medium hard, but trying to stay on those mediums for as long as he can, because the mediums are quicker than the hards, as long as you look after them. But once they start to wear, fresh hards are certainly the better tyre to be on. I wonder if V10's trying to hold out for a set of soft. I wouldn't have thought so. I don't think that's possible. I don't think a medium soft strategy is really on the cards around here. It's simply too short of a circuit, and it's also fairly hard on tyres as well, being the twisty nature of it and the heat as well, seeing as it's in the sort of southern Europe. But currently we've still got Rock with Matty Pitt and Freddie for company. Matty Pitt close to the back of Rock here, coming up the hill towards turn 4, still a little bit too far away at the moment. T's on the back of MN99 right now in about the 7th place as they come through at turn 4 once again. MN99's got a penalty, 3 seconds there for track limits again. Gonna have to get these penalties up soon. I tell you, one man who's flying right now is Big Racky. They've got 10 lap pressure tyres and Vitan Ultra. We already knew that. He's going over a second a lap quicker than the race leader, and Vitan Ultra's coming in. So he's obviously can see that gap coming down, knows he could be in trouble, and he's coming into the pits. So let's see. I assume hard tyres coming on for Vitan Ultra here, unless he's planning on doing a two soft tyre stints. Be very surprised if he is. Yep, hard tyres there for Vitan Ultra, no surprise. Big Racky leads the race. Now, how much of a gap can he pull out before he comes in for his final pit stop? He needs to put the hard tyres on. Big Racky's got a 12-second lead over Vitan Ultra at the moment. When's he going to come in? It's a difficult one. It's a difficult one because now that V10's got fresher tyres, V10 should have the pace over him. Saying that, Big Racky's now worn them out a little bit. He's done 7 laps on his medium tyres. When's that cliff going to be hit? When's that crossover between the effectiveness of the tyres going to be hit? And yeah, it's just going to be a really difficult decision for Big Racky when he feels like he can maximise his stint and come in and still have pace, and obviously be able to use the set of tyres in his final stint. And yeah, it's about maximising really. It's just what is the best strategy in terms of being able to use your tyres to the best of their ability. Obviously Big Racky probably knows better than us because he's got the tyres underneath him. He's got that feeling of the car, whether it's in his controller or his wheel. He can feel the sensitivity, he can feel the vibrations, and should be able to gauge. Obviously you can see what the car's doing as well, so yeah, he should have some idea. But Rock still got Matty Pitt and Freddie on the back of him right now. These three battling over the podium places as we speak. Matty Pitt a little bit too far away on Rock at this point. Freddie's still waiting in the wings behind these. Oh, bit of a slide there from Big Racky. Really did wallop that sausage curve on the inside of the first apex for the 6 and 7 chicane. His gap to Vitan Ultra is coming down. It's now just under 10 seconds. So when does Big Racky come in? Oh, massive slide there from Big Racky. That was living dangerously there. Surely he's got to box pretty soon, you would have thought. Thing is, he wants to stay out a bit longer because he wants that tyre offset. He wants to have fresher tyres, and oh, he's coming in. He is coming in. I wonder if he's going to do 2 soft stints here, or is he going to do 2 hard stints? It's a short pit lane here in Hungary, so I wouldn't be completely wild. But here he comes into the box. See what tyres go on. It's hard tyres, and off and away he goes. So Big Wacky will have fresher tyres than the drivers who are immediately ahead of him. Let's see see what the gaps are on the screen. So he's about 7 or 8 seconds behind second place Ruck. About 10 seconds off for the lead, but he's only got 2 lap fresher tyres than V10 Ultra, so really he hasn't gained much at all. So yeah, I don't think it's really paid off. It was worth a try, but I don't think it's paid off for Big Wacky, the 2-stop strategy. He'd have been better off, I think, putting the softs on, doing an 8-lap stint, trying to make up a load of places, and then just see what happened. Saying that's a silly idea, but it's the only one. It's the only alternative strategy that I could think of that would potentially just. I would try anything, literally at this rate, at this point. I would have thought, but he's obviously gone to play it safe, put the hards on. He reckons he can still get P2, I'm sure. But I think the win has probably got beyond him here. V10 Ultra now with a commanding lead out the front, 4 seconds over Ruckus things stand. A Big Wacky here on the back of MN99. These two have been going toe-to-toe earlier on in the race. Roxy Cola's gone around Matty Pitt into 4th, down the inside into turn 1. Big Wacky here now making a move on MN99 down. And lock up there from MN99. He tried to go for the cutback. Big Wacky though had his car parked on the inside nicely. MN99 with the DRS down towards turn 2. Big Wacky will have the inside and should be able to cover this one off nicely. MN99 nowhere to go, hung out to dry there. And Big Wacky there into P6. That is now job done there for him. As Freddie now challenging on the back of Ruck here for second place. As they come into the 6 and 7 chicane. Ropsy Cola about a second and a half off of them in 4th place. Matty Pitt still keeping him within his sights at the moment. Still right there with him. Rexy Boy there's got a 3-second time penalty for track limits. V10's gap to Ruck is extending out. Nearly 5 seconds now between those as MN99 with another penalty. Everyone on the hard tyres, some with fresher tyres than others, but I think I can safely say that now the most crucial ingredient is the penalties. That's going to be the decider in this race. So Ruck's got 6 seconds worth. That will give Freddie P2 as things stand. And Freddie might be able to make the move on the track as well here. Ropsy Cola, Matty Pitt, Big Wacky and T have all got penalties. So Freddie, as long as he keeps his nose clean in the final stint, should be a guaranteed second place here in this race. So he's in the prime position right now to gain some points and really capitalise. I was saying on Friday night how Freddie's the only driver who seems to do better in motive on a Friday than he does in purple sector, compared to the other drivers, that is. But tonight he's really shone. He's done fantastically tonight. As we see Justify there down the inside of Truckee into turn 1. I want to say obviously in motive, I think he just takes it to another level because some of the drivers in motive on Friday are just insane. Like you've got Senna, you've got Random, you've got Bad Boy, you know, their pace is just insane. And Freddie's just the only one from Purple Sector who can sort of take the fight to them on a Friday. It's incredibly impressive because I think he really does. I think he just kind of unlocks this extra gear when he sees them out on track. But yeah, he really does step it up. But he's currently on the back of Ruck here as he comes through the final corner. And obviously V10's the other one who can take the fight to those guys as well. But anyway, we come down the start finish straight, and here goes Freddie to the inside with DRS, and that's going to be an easy move there for him. Obviously, he would have got it on the penalties anyway, but he wants to clear up the road because he's got potential challenges from Rupsy Cola, maybe only on 3 seconds. Big Racky's still not caught up to this train yet, but I'm sure he will do in a few laps. Brinky's moved ahead of T up into 7th place. So that's a job there done for position. That's 2 extra points there for Brinky as we speak. And V10 Ultra has got a 3-second penalty. I don't think it's going to make a difference for the win because Freddie's too far behind. He's 6 seconds adrift, but V10 Ultra there has not been, well, certainly let himself down there, hasn't he? Not really. I mean, he's dominated the race so far, hasn't he? But, yep, certainly he's certainly human, that's for sure. That's what I was trying to say. Ropsicola is still pressuring the back of Rocket at the moment in this battle for third place. Oh, and there's a crash there. Freddie in the wall. Oh my goodness. What happened there? I was just looking down at my phone for 1 second. Oh my goodness. What has gone on? So riding on board, it was Ropsicola was behind Ruck, and Freddie just put it in the barrier into the pit wall. Oh no. He was on course for a fantastic P2 there, but unfortunately it's not going to be Freddie's night here tonight. He was close to a really, really strong finish there. He was 70% of the way there. Oh, that's a shame. That is a shame. Well, Freddie out of the race here. That's triggered a safety car, and that's going to shake up the order and probably create a few, well, I imagine some people will be coming into the pit, so they're saying that a lot of the pack were way behind Freddie and didn't take the opportunity, so I wonder if everybody's going to stay out here. We'll have to see. But that's gutting there for Freddie. I'm sure he's going to be absolutely fuming with that one. Here we are back underway for the final 9 laps of the race here at the Hungaroring. We've got Big Raki leading ahead of V10 Ultra with a rock in third place. V10 Ultra has got a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh my goodness. Well, he's got soft tyres on, so he's got a good chance of managing to outrun that penalty here. Big Raki on slightly worn out hard tyres has opted for track position. He's going to try and hold up V10 Ultra for as long as he can here. Around a circuit like this, he might have some chance of doing that. But he's going to have to really be all over the track here right now. He's going to try and keep V10 Ultra behind him for as long as he can, and then try and keep the gap down to 10 seconds if he possibly can here. So penalties right now. Big Raki's got 3, V10's got 13. So as things stand, there's a 10-second swing in penalties between them. So V10 on the soft, Rock on the on the hards. Wow, this is going to be an absolutely dramatic finish to this race. Let's not forget about V10's penalty, because that's going to be crucial. But Big Raki at the moment is holding his ground as we come into the penultimate corner here. He's got the inside, but V10's going to keep himself around the outside here. Oh, he goes very wide there. Big Raki's still there. V10's got the inside for the final corner. He's going to make that move and takes the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix. 8 laps left to go. He's got to pull out. A big gap though. 9 racing laps on the soft tyres. Surely they're going to be screaming at the end of this race. Especially with that little battle we had there. That will have just taken a bit more life out of them there. For sure. Big Raki's just got to be calm here and stay within that range. He's got more than enough tyres left. He's only got to do 16 laps on those hard tyres altogether. So he doesn't need to worry about tyre wear. He can push those hard tyres as much as he likes from now until the end of the race. He's just got to stay within 10 seconds of this man on his fresh soft tyres. Rock there running in third place out of Rapsicoda, Matty Pitt, Brinky there in P6, the only driver without a penalty in this race. He's done really well to keep his nose clean over the course of this one. As we see the McLaren of T was looking up the inside of Brinky there through the 6 and 7 chicane, looks to the inside of turn 8, still too far back there. Can't quite make that move at this point. But the 11 drivers still in the race are currently separated by about 5 or 6 seconds at the moment, and there's V10 Ultra leading the way as things stand. That's the whole pack there going through the same corner. But V10 Ultra is your leader as they come into the final corner here on lap 28. He's gapped just over a second to Big Raki. That's the gap that he's pulled out in a lap, just over a lap. So there we go, 1:16.4, fastest lap of the race so far. 1.2 seconds he's pulled out over the course of 1 lap. So if he was able to do that consistently over the course of these 8 laps that he's been in the lead, it'd be very, very close as to if he's able to put out that 10 seconds. But obviously the tyre offset will favour Big Raki in the last couple of laps. That delta between them won't be as much, so potentially we could be seeing a very close finish here in this race. Rock in the meantime is on the back of Rapsicola. Obviously Rapsicola on the mediums. Oh no, Big Raki's lost it, and his chances of the win have surely gone out of the door there. He's binned it there into the wall coming out of turn 4. He's got damage as well. He's all over the place right now, Big Raki. That is game, set and match there for V10 Ultra. He's just got to pull out now to Rapsicola. I mean, saying that, actually, you know what, it certainly isn't, because Rapsicola's on the medium tyres in second place, so it's certainly not. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that, but yeah, he's pretty much, I think he's safe to rock, because only a 4-second offset in terms of penalties. Matty Pitt, if he can stay within 7 seconds of V10 Ultra, will also get ahead of him. But Matty can't win because he's behind Rapsicola, and with more penalties, T as well, he's not really in contention here. I wouldn't have thought, with the 3-second penalty and being in 5th place right now. So I think it's probably between V10 Ultra and Rapsicola and Matty Pitt. It's these 3. I think they're in the shout of winning this race. So V10 on the softs, Ropsy on the mediums, and Matty Pitt on the hards. And in fact, no, Matty Pitt on the mediums actually. Okay, so yeah, but Matty Pitt, yeah, I tell you what, he's got that penalty over Rapsicola. It's gonna make it really difficult for him. So really, V10 Ultra has got to pull 10 seconds to Rapsicola if he wants to win this race. I don't think he's going to do it, you know. I don't think he's going to have enough in those soft tyres at the end of the race. You can see Rapsicola is already pegging him back a little bit here. In the first couple of laps of the restart, V10 Ultra was leaving everyone for dead, and then Rapsicola, in the last sort of lap or so, has just started to bring that gap down a little bit here. So obviously the medium tyres have that longevity over the softs, and clearly that's reaping rewards here for Rapsicola at this moment in time. And he is right there, ready to capitalise here on V10 Ultra. As MN99 has moved ahead of Rexy Boy up into P7 as they're all three wide there into the penultimate corner. Rexy Boy on the inside, MN99 just having to back out of that one there a little bit into the final corner. Rexy Boy goes a little bit wide. Trucky there just got pushed out a little bit in that battle by his teammate and Rexy Boy, but his teammate's got a run here on Rexy Boy down the start finish straight. As we come down towards turn one, he's going to look to the inside, is he? There's a gap on the inside which he's going to look down towards. Oh, he goes up down the inside there. There's MN99. That was a late move there. It was a risky one, but he makes it stick, but he's lost it on the exit of the corner. Rexy Boy side by side with him down towards turn two. They're going to go into the corner at the same time as MN99 goes very late on the brakes. Bit of a lock up there. They're still side by side. Who's going to have more momentum through this corner? Rexy Boy backs out of that one. He had the right to keep his foot down there, but he backed out of it. He knew that it was going to be a crash otherwise. Oh, and it is a crash through the very next corner. The two of them have wiped each other out. It's allowed Brinky and Justify and Trucky, should I say, to come through into 7th and 8th places. Rexy Boy and MN99 have dropped out of that one, and that was obviously going to happen to me. Obviously through turn 3, it was Rexy Boy who got out of the way for MN99, and then into the very next corner, the two of them come together. Oh, couldn't make it up. Justify and Trucky will be thanking them for coming together there, as there's a couple of extra points for both of them. But MN99 and Rexy Boy, that was silly there. To be fair, that was totally avoidable. But nonetheless, the race to the V10 Ultra coming onto lap 32. 4 laps left to go here at the Hungaroring. Freddie in the comments saying, "Go on, lads!" Getting behind the guys here who are putting on a great show out on track. Looking at the moment like Rupsy Cola will take the win ahead of V10 Ultra because he's got 10 seconds less penalties and he's currently only 2 seconds behind him. Matty Pitt will be 3rd place. He'll stay in 3rd place because at the moment, well, actually no, at the moment he'll actually finish ahead of V10 Ultra, but whether or not he'll still be within 4 seconds of him at the checkered flag is another story. Also, the rate he's been racking up penalties in the last couple of laps, there's no guarantee that he won't have more penalties by the checkered flag either, so we'll have to keep an eye on that, but that could be developing all the way to the end here, as we got T with Rock and Brinky on the back of him, and Brinky is in a good position here because he'll pick up 2 places as things stand. He'll get up into 4th place because T and Rock both with penalties, so if Brinky can stay where he is, then he'll inherit 2 positions, and that'll be 4 extra points in the bag for him if he can keep it calm. He's already looking to the inside here of Rock into this next corner, and he can make that move down the inside. Brinky there up into P5 without any real major issues there, as Rock looking to the outside into the penultimate corner, isn't going to be able to come back at him there. Saying that, he'll have the DRS down the start finish straight. He could have a chance. If he can keep himself sweet coming out this final corner, then we could be seeing Rock coming back with the immediate reply here. On board with Rock in the DRS and the slipstream now. He's too far back. Not going to happen from there. Brinky job done into P5 on those, more confidence there certainly with what's underneath him. Now he can try and put the pressure on T. Obviously, he doesn't need to overtake him because he'll get it on the penalties anyway. Saying that though, he's within 6 seconds of Matty Pitt now as well, so Brinky could be in with a podium here tonight just by keeping his nose clean. It really goes to show the rewards that you can reap here just by staying out of trouble. And saying that, you know what, Brinky might even get ahead of V10 Ultra. So V10 as things stand will lose out to Rupsy Cola and Matty Pitt. He's going to lose out to T and Brinky. So as things stand, V10 Ultra will drop down to P5. He's only got 8 seconds back to Brinky, who's with 13-second penalty. He's got 7 seconds back to T. There's 10-second delta in terms of penalties there, so he'll lose out to him. He'll also lose out to Matty Pitt because I was saying that actually no, he's just ahead of Matty Pitt now in terms of the penalties. So as it stands, if it were to finish right now, he'd be ahead of Matty Pitt just. But he's obviously going to lose the win to Rupsy Cola. We know that for sure. And Matty Pitt still trying to put the pressure here on the back of Rupsy Cola. Brinky's still all over T. Rock dropping off of this a little bit here in this battle. Justify there 7th ahead of Trucky. Bit of a gap back to his teammate MN99 in 9th, and Rexy Boy, the last runner, still going in the final point. Big Recky dropped out of the race after his catastrophic error when he was within striking distance of a race win. A lap and a half left to go here at the Hungaroring, and it's currently still V10 Ultra with a 2-second gap over Rupsy Cola and Matty Pitt, who are still continuing to go at it here for 2nd place. There's T, Brinky still all over the back of him right now, but actually saying that, T's just managing to pull out a bit of a gap here to him, looking slightly more comfortable at this moment. So V10 Ultra on the final lap of the race. He's gapped to Roxicola 1.5 seconds. You've got Matty Pitt there running in third place. He's currently just under 3.5 seconds off of the lead. So as things stand, Matty Pitt now is back within catchment of V10. He'll finish ahead of him as things stand. So if the race was finished right now, it would be Roxicola would be the race winner. Second would be T. Second would be Brinky. Third would be T. No, third would be T, fourth would be Matty Pitt, and fifth would be V10. But into the final half a lap, V10 Ultra, he's gapped to Roxicola just over a second. To be fair, he's done the job on the track. I suppose you couldn't ask much more of him, but with the penalty for the drive-through, the writing was pretty much on the wall for the pit lane speeding penalty. And unfortunately, that was all she wrote. And V10 Ultra coming into the final corner here at the Hungaroring. It's going to be the win on the track, but the championship leader is going to lose a few points here tonight to his rivals. Here he comes to take the checker flag on the track, but it's going to be Roxicola to take the Hungarian Grand Prix tonight at purple sector. Matty Pitt provisionally second, but T is going to overtake him, and Brinky will jump both of them here. So Brinky will finish P2. Matty Pitt does just pip T to third on the penalties. T fourth with V10 fifth. Justify over in P6 with Ruck in seventh. And it's going to be MN99 next over the line. Truckee did pip Ruck on the penalties there to P7. Ruck 8th with MN99 over to finish the race in 9th place there. And last to finish will be Rexy Boy, who's just coming to the penultimate corner now. And into the final corner. Final point here for Rexy Boy. And that is that for the race here. What a race that was. Great night of action there. Roxicola, your winner for tonight for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Congratulations to Roxicola there. Right place for right time. Knew that he was well within the required gap to take the win, and kept it cool, stayed disciplined, and didn't falter under the pressure from Matty Pitt, who was giving him a lot to think about in those rearview mirrors. But that is that, guys, for tonight's action for the Purple Sector Formula 1 League. Round 13 of 24 for Season X here. And Roxicola, your winner ahead of Brinky in second. Matty Pitt completes the podium. Thanks everybody for watching. To the drivers watching this back, hopefully you did enjoy. Hopefully I did you justice out on track. And if you did enjoy, then please do smash that like button. We'll see you on Thursday night as Neil is there. Roxicola loving it in the comments there. But yeah, make sure you join us on Thursday night. We'll be live at the same time as always, 8 p.m. UK time for round 14 for the Purple Sector Formula 1 League. We'll be live from Belgium, Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix, 8 p.m. UK time for qualifying, with the race following on shortly afterwards. Also join us on Friday night. We'll be back for Motive Racing's Formula 1 League, as always, 7:30 p.m. UK time for round 5 of the season. Shorter season, only 14 rounds for Motive, so it's being condensed a little bit, but nonetheless it will be live from Imola for the second sprint race of the season. 2 back-to-back sprint races following China last week. Join us at 7:30 p.m. UK time for that one. But from all of us, guys, it's a big thank you. We'll see you very soon. Good night.